Hello, I am Anika Machi from the Indian Institute for Human Settlements and I'm working with Tamil Nadu Urban Sanitation Support Program. To tell you a bit about TNUSSP, it is the technical support unit to the state government of Tamil Nadu. Currently, it is supporting the government to improve urban sanitation and scale FSM across 663 towns. So the program was launched in 2015 and is being funded by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Today, my colleague Srinidhi Sudhakar and I will present about the existing desludging service model in Tamil Nadu and the regulated desludging model being adopted to help bring improvements such as increase in access to treatment facilities and reduction in financial barriers to safe disposal. To give you more context, Tamil Nadu is a state in south of India with an urban population of 31 million. Taking into account the urbanization in the state, the government recognized that in addition to sewerage services, FSM was required to ensure full coverage of sanitation services. So with this aim, in 2018, TNUSSP supported the government to frame state investment plan to scale treatment facilities in 5 phases. Aside from scaling, TNUSSP is also working on sustaining FSM operations through multiple other interventions such as capacity building and stakeholder engagement and various other activities. To give you an insight into the urbanization structure in Tamil Nadu, here urban areas or the urban local bodies can be categorized into municipal corporations, municipalities, and town panchayats. The ULBs are categorized into 3 tiers mainly based on population sizes. While corporations house the largest population, town panchayats are smaller areas with lesser population. So within these urban areas, 70% of households are connected to on-site sanitation systems. Currently, this large percentage of urban households rely on desludging services provided by a market of private desludging operators that is largely unregulated. This market mainly provides on-demand desludging services and there is no standard desludging because the desludging frequency differs from customer to customer due to large variance in containment sizes and types. So what we know from our studies is that current desludging services are provided by a vibrant informal market. And some of the characteristics of these desludging businesses include that they are largely male dominated and this occupation is often caste based. Also, these are mainly small businesses where owners of desludging vehicles sometimes double up as operators or drivers and even workers. Therefore, it is an unregulated and informal market. Moving on to the challenges with the existing model, the operators face many challenges with the current service model. For instance, due to lack of treatment facilities at reasonable distances, the operators end up practicing unsafe disposal and also incur a huge transportation cost. In the current model, the urban poor are not able to access these services due to issues of affordability and physical access. Therefore, to overcome the challenges mentioned, TNUSSP proposed a regulated desludging model based on-demand desludging services with the objective to provide treatment facilities within reasonable distance and remove any financial barriers to safe disposal while promoting sanitation worker safety and inclusive desludging services. To achieve these objectives mentioned, a number of steps were taken that will be explained by my colleague Srinidhi.
Thanks, Anika. So next, in terms of ensuring safe disposal, creation of adequate treatment facilities was recognized as a critical first step and a state investment plan was developed for scaling of treatment facilities based on a cluster approach. Under this cluster approach, the urban local bodies falling within 10-kilometer radius of the existing or upcoming treatment facilities were clustered together to share the treatment facility. The regulated desludging model, which we will be proposing, leverages on this cluster approach. This clustering approach was operationalized through a government order MOU, and this MOU governed the operation and maintenance of the shared treatment facilities and also assigned responsibility to the cluster ULBs to ensure that all desludging operators within their cluster jurisdiction are licensed and also dispose of fecal sludge at the designated shared treatment facility. Next, as part of the government order, the state also issued a standard licensing agreement or SLA to streamline the collection, disposal, and operation of desludging operators. So, through this licensing agreement, the desludging operators are mandated to license their vehicle with their respective local bodies and also utilize the designated treatment facilities falling within their cluster. So to ensure utilizations, vehicles, that is the desludging vehicles, are to be fitted with GPS devices, which had to be monitored and tracked by urban local bodies to prevent open dumping and also to finally ensure safe disposal. The additional features of this licensing agreement mandates that all operators undertake periodic health checkups and also ensure safety training for their employees. Another important feature of this license is that while it collects a license fee and also a tipping fee, the rates for these are kept very nominal so as not to incentivize these operators. Additionally, since the market rates of for these desludging services are mostly competitive, there is no price intervention or price ceiling introduced by the government. These features ensure that the livelihood options for the operators are not disrupted. The standard licensing agreement as part of the regulated desludging model is being implemented at scale across Tamil Nadu through capacity building modules of webinars, digital blended learning methods, and also on-field roving support. Next slide talks about inclusive services, which is very important. And the program is exploring new desludging models in ULBs without sufficient private players to ensure that all households can access competitively priced desludging services. Some of the models under exploration will ensure that desludging operators, along with government support, can cater to difficult terrain such as hilly areas, bulk generators, and also informal settlements at subsidized desludging rates. Next, in terms of learning from this regulated desludging model, is that one, the cluster approach has ensured that desludging operators have access at reasonable distances to adequate treatment facilities, and two, the light touch regulation with no price intervention ensures that the livelihoods of the desludging operators face no disruptions. Through this model, we have also understood that private operators can be assigned additional roles of safety and providing inclusive services with minimal government support. Many urban and rural areas at present face the issue of varying containment sizes where desludging frequency cannot be standardized, and this model can be replicated in these regions with adequate private operators providing on-demand desludging services. The government can also be supportive to scaling of desludging enterprises in other locations by limiting to light touch regulation and not introducing any price ceiling which will affect the market desludging rates. This would additionally be helpful for reducing the government's burden of direct provisioning. Finally, by adopting a cluster model for provisioning of shared treatment facilities and by efficiently leveraging and supporting the private desludging market, this model can be easily scaled up across both rural as well as urban areas. Thank you. We welcome any questions and suggestions. You can also visit our website tnussp.co.in to know more about our work.